London streets are split today. One side waving the Union Jack, the other asking what it really stands for. I'm not here to wave anything besides my mic. I'm not here to answer, I'm here to ask, to find out what the flag really means in 2025 and see whether it speaks for everybody, bro. I want to ask everyone's opinion respectfully and honestly. Let's get into it.
Illegal immigrants.
You're not racist.
Bullshit. It's not safe.
Assassinate them.
All of them are racist.
What did you come here today for?
To symbolise the British pride and the lack of free speech that we're now allowed to have in our own country.
A lack of free speech in what way?
Not allowed to fly our flag. We're not allowed to be prideful in being British.
What would actually happen if you walked around the street flying your flag, or if you wore that out on a normal day with not a protest?
In a lot of places in the country, you'll end up being attacked. You could be arrested by the police because it could be seen as a hate symbol, like in Worthing Council. The actual council have said it's a hate symbol.
What's the history? What's the stigma behind the flag? Why has it become such a hate symbol?
Because people don't like it. We're an old country that may have done some questionable things in the past, granted, but because we're England and we're so open, people come in and say, oh, I don't like that, you need to change it.
Can you empathize with people who feel scared of the flag?
Oh yes. There are groups of people out there that use it as a calling cry to do hate crime, which you shouldn't do because it takes away from the people that aren't going to use it as a hate crime.
So why are you here today, and what are your thoughts about everything going on with this march?
Well, I'm from, the town that I'm from is, overly dominantly white. It's, a 90% white population. So when I'm coming here, and I go to uni just so us over there, the town that has 90 new Union Jack flags. They've just, put them all up. And there's, loads of, they put all the crosses on all the, roundabouts, and they've, put, crosses everywhere. So I just think it's, really important to actually, talk about the miseducation that side have, and about the under-education about immigration.
Why is the Union Jack and the St. George's flag seeing such a negative light in the UK then?
I think because how much it's just used for colonialism, how we put it onto every flag that we colonise, and it's still on a lot of countries' flags as well at the moment. And I think it's just overly patriotic for no particular reason really. I don't think there's anything to be proud of from our country at this point in time, and what Keir Starmer putting up the St. George's flag instead of the Union Jack flag at a recent address as well. It's just to incite hate and over polarization of our country at the moment, I think.
But this side's not also a fan of Keir Starmer either.
No.
You know what's insane? I was at the other march, and they also hate Keir Starmer just as much.
Yeah.
Y'all have something in common. Is there one thing respectfully you want to say to the other side to get them to see your point of view?
I think we both have the same common enemy, really, and that is the over-establishment of politics and politics in general, and how that is what's making us so polarized. We are united against the same sort of thing. It's not, and we just use other things as scapegoats, really. You know.
When you say get them out, what do you mean by get who out?
I mean, what do you think? What springs to your mind when I say get them out?
Maybe people who...
I'd say illegal immigrants.
Culture
because
as well.
They're illegal and they shouldn't be here. It's a criminal offence to come into this country illegally. And the statistics say that they're 71% more likely to commit a sexual offence than a British national.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you.
Wait, how do you feel about it being a person of color with all this?
I live around here. I'm from Lambeth Fork, the old Lambeth Fork. So at first I was a bit scared to come, I'm not gonna lie. But when I got here, a lot of people, you get a little side eyes and stuff, but on the whole, a lot of people don't even care about black or white. You know what I mean? I hear more chants about the government. I ain't heard no racist chants yet. You know what I mean? So on the whole, it seems pretty safe, but still be careful.
So billionaires and fascists can rule without a fight, but the will can be broken if the people unite.
Do you feel the British flag equally represents everyone in the UK?
No.
It does not?
There is no black in the Union Jack. Do you know that phrase?
I have heard of it, yes.
It's a famous book by Paul Gilroy. It's worth reading. But this country was founded on the slave trade, genocide, colonizing countries all over the world, plunder. This was the roots of this country. And now they've been fucking up the whole world, Afghanistan, Syria, Iran and so on. And then when the victims of that come over here, they, oh, why are you over here? Bullshit, hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy, man. I'm saying we're one humanity, one world, one humanity. And this country has committed crimes against people all over the world. And the victims of those crimes come over here and they want to say, no, 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 you can't come. Why? Why can't they come? Because we run the world. Put it this way. I would say the British rulers have screwed up the rest of the world even more than they've screwed up this country.
Oh, this guy's lit. Why are you here today, man?
I'm here for your kids, my kids, grandkids. Listen, our parents never went to war, to protect our country, right? Sorry, I'm spitting out.
No, it's okay.
Right, then get invaded. We're here for freedom of speech. We're here for our country, for our kids. We don't care race, right, black, white, green, purple, or religion. Come and join us, yeah? We're here to protect against them extremists, them c***s. Trust me, right, we're here. Big up, Bust O'Neill's.
Boom. I'm here with this guy, man. So you pro flag or what? What's up?
Brother, I don't know why all these flags are up. I came here to watch Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba at the biggest screen in London right now, so you tell me what's happening, bro.
This man came here to watch anime and he got stuck in a parade march. That's hilarious, bro.
I thought someone got assassinated around the corner.
No. So what are your opinions on it then, bro?
My opinion, fly whatever flag you like. I'm a footballer, we play both wings, right wing, left wing, up front, so it doesn't matter to me, brother.
You don't think there's any hate that the flag carries?
Yeah, definitely, because of all the countries that Great Britain or United Kingdom would have conquered over the years and the empire. But, you know, it's all about perspective. If you grew up in the UK and you feel nationalism, that's cool. But, of course, if you know history, then people's lives were lost to build this community, whether it's Indians, Jamaicans, Africans. Every country is built on the back of someone else in terms of, like, economy and wealth or whatever. So there's always two perspectives, but fly your flags. But know your history and know what you've done to other people to have what you want, to have your NHS and your buildings and the gold in the palace and all of that stuff.
The way the flag is used in history in a negative way, how do you think it affects people today?
In terms of the Union Jack flag, I'm not responsible for what happened hundreds of years ago, sort of thing. So
maybe not hundreds of years ago, but maybe with like the EDL and the people back in the day that waved the flag that were committing crazy acts.
Yeah, so in the same terms, one person isn't the whole of the UK. You can't scapegoat someone with that whole you are in that bad group because of one person sort of thing. That's never going to work, at all.
Can the UK be unified under the Union Jack?
Union flag. That's the name of it. It's a Union flag. There's a lot of evil out there, and there's a lot of really horrible things, but the flag is supposed to be a representation of unifying. So that's my belief.
Honestly,
I think we could, yeah. I think we could get under it.
Do you guys see flag waving more of self-expression or more of a political statement?
Ooh.
The Union Jack and St. George's Cross, that is.
Yeah. I think at the moment it's kind of techie. Like, I used to think it was a form of patriotism, but now I feel like it comes off slightly aggressive. It's got a duality to it now. Do you know what I mean? It's not as easy as just saying, just being patriotic.
Almost like an FU to the people that are immigrants and stuff like that.
Especially when they're draping it over like Chinese restaurants and shit. It's like that's not being like I'm being patriotic. That's like a threat basically at this point. I think a lot of the people who are doing it think they're doing it as a form of like patriotism and self-expression, but it's like being stoked up from the far right, being like go and wave your flags.
What about the people that actually are, I guess, doing it in a patriotic way, that want no ill intent besides just representing the UK?
I mean, I think it becomes like the silent majority versus like the vocal minority, right? And the vocal minority are the ones who are, like you said, like putting over Chinese restaurants and making it more of like a fuck you. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like a fuck you to immigrants and people of colour. Whereas, like, waving your flag shouldn't actually be an issue. Like, I'm proud to be English. I was born in London. Do you know what I mean? My grandparents are fucking Jamaican. My dad's Senegalese, but I'm a Londoner.
So it's not necessarily just the Union Jack. It's the hatred and the message behind it, basically.
Yeah, like the subtext that they want to promote. I think I'm all for people wanting to reclaim it and say, let's promote this as promote the fact that it's led us to be this kind of like multicultural and pluralistic society, and that's what it should be promoted instead of like, fuck you, go home, people who aren't white,
Never trust a copper! Never trust a copper with your kids!
I don't want anyone to think England and the British Isles are racist by no means. We just want our isles be protected. We were a once great nation.
We're not racist. We want to protect the British public and the women and children of this country. We cannot allow other people that do not accept our culture into this country.
Exactly.
That's simple.
Where are you from? Ethnicity wise.
I was born and bred in Leeds.
Where are you from?
London.
But like, where, like ethnic, you got a little brown to you, King. Where you from?
My mother was half Russian, half Ugandan, and my dad was Ugandan.
My mother-in-law's black. You know what I mean? My father-in-law, his wife. You know, this is not about racism. All it is about unvetted people coming into this country. We've got no beef with anybody. This is a part of unity. This is unity. It's a march for unity.
What about the people that feel a bit intimidated or a bit scared because of the flag?
Talk to us. Like you have.
Why are they intimidated?
Yeah.
They should be proud of the fact that we're trying to protect them.
I've noticed there's been a lot more similarities between both of the people, more than they thought. Views, ideas, etc.
Yeah, both groups really hate the politicians and are equally as frustrated. What's really interesting to see is on a one-on-one basis, you know, even though it's like very different events, very different kind of like, I don't even want to say it, but different camps, different groups, most people really polite and friendly.
From what you've seen on the media from both sides, do they live up to the name, or is it a completely different vibe in real life, seeing them and interacting with them as people?
So just my personal opinion, I think there's not a lot of like reporting something for what it is. I think a lot of the time when you see things, right, it's been, they want to display this and they paint it to fit that narrative. You know, like there's this phrase, like you're from the States, right?
Yeah.
Like, a house divided cannot stand. And I just can't help but thinking that. I study a lot of psychology and biology and stuff. We share like 40% of our DNA with a daffodil, 99% with a chimpanzee. We're all basically the same, right? So it's interesting to see where those divisions come, where the views diverge, because at the end of the day, everybody wants happiness, everyone wants safety for them and their family. It's just, how do we get there? Everyone thinks we should go different paths.
So why do you think they're so divided now then? If everyone wants the same goal, at what point did we split and become so divided?
This real like inability to listen. Like a lot of people, again, it's not supported by the media and whatever, they kind of don't want an open conversation, because if I actually learn about you and you actually learn about me, we're going to be chill.
Exactly.
But if we keep on having this where he's from that party, it's and it's not just politically, it's all sorts of differences.
This is absolutely crazy, bro. I mean, think of it, they love this guy. Why should you be able to fly the flag in the UK?
Why shouldn't we? It's our national flag.
I think the biggest thing is it's the hatred, I guess, associated with the flag. So I guess the other side is saying people are afraid of the flag or intimidated.
They shouldn't be, no.
They should, and why shouldn't they be, though?
It's a protective flag.
If you're an immigrant from another country and a bunch of your neighbors fly a flag around, would you feel empathetic for the people who are scared of it or no?
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't
be scared of it at all.
Never be scared of the British flag. Never.
But what about the people that kind of use the British flag in a negative way?
Well, then they shouldn't be here.
Wait, the people who are scared of it?
Move away. There's no reason.
So move away from the UK.
No, but yeah, but if you, this is
reason
what
to be
we've
scared
learned
of
for
it.
centuries. Leave it alone. We're not going to ever not be proud to fly our flag. End of conversation. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, and we stand up to racism. I'm saying to people, move because we're outnumbered. It's not safe.
Oh, fuck off!
Fuck off, you lefty cunts! Fuck off, you lefty cunts! No one wants you. Fuck off! Fuck off, you lefty cunts!
Alright, but I don't think anyone's listening, but...
You fuck off as well if you're with them.
This is the kind. I've been told multiple times, go back to Pakistan. I'm from England. They said, go back to Pakistan, you. I'm from England. I was born here. That's the kind of language they use. That's the kind of supporters Tommy Robinson has. The average supporter of Tommy Robinson behaves and thinks in that way. It's disgusting, and they need to be stopped. Whether it's through Keir Starmer's policies, with his listen to him, dirty. That's what they call me. Why?
Wait, let's talk about this logically.
They're racist. They're racist. All of them are racist with their flags.
Why are we racist?
Look at the way they've treated me today.
Listen, we're not against anyone.
Ripping this off my head. Why?
Anyone for the colour of the skin.
He says we. He may think in that way, but the interactions I've had, what I've seen, the behaviour of those people on the far right is disgusting and it's scary. It's scary the way they behave. They need to be stopped.
No, we're not racist, yeah? What's going on in this country now, yeah? We've got illegal migrants. We're not against legal migrants. They're getting hotels while our own people are on the streets. It's not right.
And can you feel sympathetic for guys like that who's getting pushed and beer in their face, or no?
Well, why is he here?
Because I guess he also lives in the UK as well.
Yeah,
and he's also British.
Okay, but Tommy Robinson's on a rally today, so why are they here? Why have they come to counter? Why?
I'm guessing the same reason you're here, to fight their point.
But they're going to counter protest. But why? Why?
It's hilarious, and hilarious because it's horrible that he says that the right is being violent. He sees how they act. Yet if you go on social media, you will see thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of people inciting violence day after day. And then they actually take action. And nobody's stopping it. But they share what they're going to do, and then they do it. And they incite violence against everybody, against Trump, now Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, everybody who is conservative. They are encouraging them to assassinate them. And then they want to say that the right is violent?
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah. When people are antagonizing, you're going to get violent, you know. I'm not here for violence. I don't agree with violence. People need dialogue in the world. Exactly. Look what just happened to Charlie Kirk. People need to sit down and talk.
I talked to this, I'm sorry, what's your name, sir? Dave. A guy who's very open-minded. He was saying that they need to talk to each other more. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
I think that's right, because social media creates these like rabbit holes where people go down.
Sorry, a car's coming. 1 second, sir.
And all they do is hear what their own opinions, worse and worse.
Echo chamber
Full
from
of
one
hate,
side.
Yeah. But what we need is more communication, on both sides, because there's a common ground here. We need immigrants. Obviously, we need refugees who work here, but at the same time, we've got to have some controls, and we can't just let people come in on the boats without some sort of control. So,
both sides have their points, but you have to be.
But there's a lot of hatred spread. Like, I've heard people from the so-called right say things like, "Oh, I don't want my daughter being sexually abused." Well, there may be a few cases of that. There have been. But that you can't tar everybody with the same brush. Do you know what I mean? It's too much conspiracy, too much hate, and people need to be a bit more open-minded.
How do you feel about the flag being waved, and why is there such a divide right now between both sides about flying the UK flag?
I don't think that there's a problem with waving the UK flag or the St. George's flag, but I think that the context is really important. And when this is the context, when you are shouting Allah, Allah, who the fuck is Allah, mass immigration is drowning English people. That's not a real argument. The context is always important.
Can you see the flag in the future being a symbol of multicultural unity, or no?
Maybe in 40 years, 50 years, when people start waking up, like, this divide isn't real. In my eyes, it's all a distraction. Immigrants are coming and taking your jobs. No, they're not. If you were able to get the job, you would have the job. I think people are divided about the wrong thing. Politicians are dividing you more than you. Oh my.
Sooner they realise it's a class war and not a culture war.
I feel like y'all are arguing against the same thing. Yeah. The government and Keir Starmer, but yet y'all are fighting amongst each other down low. Exactly. When y'all should be united.
I think a lot of people on the left would say we don't like Keir Starmer, but we don't like Keir Starmer for different things than these lot don't like him for.
Okay.
And I think with the history of the flag, it's implemented its history now. This is their history of the St. George's flag, and I think this is what it's going to be remembered for. In, say, for example, in 100 years, people aren't going to fly the St. George flag for what it is. It's going to be flying for its hatred and its,
Can you empathize with people who feel like they want to wave the flag because they're patriotism and patriotism only?
There's a very fundamental difference between patriotism and nationalism. And actually nationalism, which is fueled by racist rhetoric from politicians like Nigel Farage and Daily Mail newspaper, The Sun newspaper, leads to hate. And actually, fundamentally, free speech doesn't mean you're allowed to use hate speech to get rid of the rights, human rights, of other peoples. If you go to the march down the road, they are calling for hope, for the inclusion of all peoples. If you come here, they're telling you to stop the boats, to drown people in the sea, to shoot them on sight. I don't think that should be encouraged as free speech, and I don't think that represents the same patriotism I have for living in this country as a second-generation immigrant, but obviously the right sort of immigrant in their eyes. And I think fundamentally what we need to do is be willing to stand up and call this stuff out.
Is there a more logical way of handling this? Maybe talking? I feel like y'all have the same common goal, but y'all are fighting beneath when it's the government that's really making y'all fight.
You've hit a really important point, which is that it's not migrants that are causing these problems. It's the very top 1%, the rich, the politicians who are bought by business and by billionaires, and actually they're lobbied and influenced to make policy which fuels hatred between people, because sensationalist media, sensationalist capitalism creates money. And yes, of course, conversation and dialogue is important, but dialogue only happens if both sides are willing to listen. When one side is fundamentally not willing to listen to the statistics and facts that are presented before them and easily findable on Google, I think you have a real problem. Again, if you go down the road, you'll see a march which is talking about inclusion and hope and love and peace, and then you come here and you talk about one which is specifically about white power.
Can I condemn a part of our group? The angry people who don't understand, they don't know how to control their emotions. They need to learn how to control their emotions. On both sides, otherwise we're going to have a civil war.
So the anger is justified, right? There's a lot of places outside of London in small communities that haven't really had access to education and opportunity, and therefore the people feel a bit lost. But the direction of which the anger is going towards is completely preposterous. If they knew a bit more about the situation and what's actually going on, they wouldn't feel like this and they wouldn't be doing this. There's no information in a lot of these calls, it's just emotion. Like, this is completely ridiculous. And like, to a lot of these people, it's just a day out, which goes to show how little they have to do.
How do you feel about the flags being taken down or the flags being woven?
I feel like I'm not a patriotic person. I'm not somebody that subscribes to flags and political borders that are masqueraded as countries. I believe in the freedom of the people. That's all people to roam and go where they want. So in terms of flag waving, if you feel like that makes you feel good, then wave your flag. When the LGBT flag was being raised vehemently in this country, nobody opposed it. We had LGBT bread and zebra crossings. So if you're in England, then you're going to expect to see the St. George's Cross and the Union Jack. However, I acknowledge that these two emblems carry a distinctive stigma to them, especially for non-English, non-white, non-European people. It carries a stigma, and for them they see it as a symbol of racism and oppression. So I can see why some people react violently against it, and I can see why some people want to raise their flags in the country that they're born in and in the country that they call home. Hopefully at some point in time we have a massive revolution of the mind, you know, and
come together.
I think that
you don't think so?
Begging for people to come together is not realistic. I don't see, you can't get oil and water to mix. Yeah, so if some people are oil, some people are water, begging for them, oh, come together, that's why we're in the mess we're in. Not taking into consideration both sides, their personalities, their cultures and whatever, throwing everyone together is a recipe for disaster. And so no, I don't think just coming together, but you can have solidarity on certain key points, like child protection, like security. These are things that every decent human being should care about. You should care about what's happening to kids, yeah? Don't just care about what's happening to the kids in your community, yeah? Don't just care about the white kids or the Asian kids, care about the black kids, the Chinese kids, all the kids, yeah? Once we put kids at the forefront, then we're gonna realize, yeah, we do need some solutions to what's going on out here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah?
Bro.
For the kids,
Man,
free the kids!
Today showed us that one symbol, the Union Jack, British flag, has a lot of meanings for different people. For some, it's pride and heritage, and for others, it's a symbol of exclusion or even struggle. But behind every single banner and every chat, there is indeed a story that's worth hearing. This wasn't about choosing sides or taking sides, it was genuinely about listening. If y'all tune into my channel, this isn't my normal content, but I genuinely wanted to figure out what this was all about. Because honestly, no matter what you feel like, understanding starts the conversation. And that's what we're here to do, man. Y'all be easy.
Family. One love.